Maybe should test my mic beforehand. Okay, we're good on mic. Mic check, mic check. Check, check it. Turn down the volume a little bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to me ranking every single movie I saw in 2026. If anybody can let me know, is the audio mixing okay? I want people to still enjoy the. If you're watching live, there's going to be some music. If you're watching on the VOD, it's going to be weird ass silence and probably my voice too loud. Because it's not going on the VOD track. And that's so I can stream this and don't immediately get slapped down by Twitch. Or so I can upload it later and YouTube doesn't just go like, oh, you played every single anime soundtrack. Uh, let's see, can I find it? Yeah. Shout out to Chief Blackbird, who hooked me up with the soundtrack. So I want to see if I can give a shout out. I could be a bit quieter. You know what? That's fine. I was kind of going into the red there for portions. That's like a couple dB lower. So hopefully that's okay. If it's still uncomfortable, I can kick it down another couple dB. It's hard for me to tell. You know, power's a 10 and all. Shout out. Cheap Blackbird gave me this soundtrack. This is or not soundtrack, this playlist on Spotify. It just all the like mecha show songs he could get together. Uh I looked at my playlist from Thursday and it says I have like 80 hours on there, so I don't know why we were getting so many repeats, even though I didn't skip that many. Uh this one's equally long, so hopefully we can get through today. I managed to change the UI a little bit on this page, so it's a little wider. Spotify Shuffle loves repeats. I think a while ago they talked about how the algorithm like shuffled in a way like it did like a monetary shuffle. Like it's a shuffle, uh but it'll sort of bias towards songs with less royalties have to be paid, if any. Uh that's what I heard from somebody who had worked at Spotify a long time ago. I don't know if that's true. But the fact that there were songs on that playlist we never heard, and we heard Joe Walsh's "Life's Good" multiple times. Hope him or his estate's getting money. Uh, yeah. So we got halfway through. I didn't want to do this on Friday because Friday I have my Japanese class and it's been a while, and I wanted to do some like extra study. Uh, and then I forgot that we had a brunch planned with some people this morning. So instead of like getting up at 10 to do this Pacific, I'm up at noon, but we're gonna try and get through this. I have to ask everybody to not watch this many movies. Like I said, next year it's gonna be easier. Uh, all these movies, I'll like when I log into Letterboxd, I'll put a star rating associated with it, so I can do what's called like a radix sort. So I have every category. So 5 stars, I'll sort all those. 4.5 stars, I'll sort all those, and then it's just sort of looking at the boundaries. You clocked up 300 movies? Artemis, that's crazy. If Spotify has no haters, then I am dead. Uh, true. Let's see. I I'll pop my year in review summary here. You only rate movies you watch for the specific friend now. That's fair. I feel like with this I gave Weapons a 3.5 stars when on the highly rated films list, but probably closer to a 4. But yeah, July 7th or you know what? We can have a little bit of fun as a treat. I love you, Anya. I'm so sorry we're not playing right now. Sorry, I can't put this in night mode. Uh, but most watched actor Shintaro Katsu. Most watched direct. I assume he's in. I assume this is the actor who plays whatchamacallit? Zatoichi, yeah. And he was in Hanzo the Razor. We'll get to that too. Uh, and then we have Koji Shiraishi. He does the found footage slash documentary style horror films like the Senritsu Kaiki, uh, Occult, and something else. I actually ordered his book. He has a book called How to Film Fake Documentaries with a lot of like history and backgrounds uh, in Japanese, so it'll be good practice for reading too. But yeah, I only reviewed 61, so that's like I don't know if a review counts as a star or a review counts as a written text. I would believe that to be written text for sure. Uh, yeah. So one bad left another. These are some of my higher rated ones. That's not my highest. This is they just chose three highly rated ones. I watched 19 films July 3rd. What that must have been when I was traveling for work. I think that's when I was going to a conference where I can get like 2 to 3 movies in on an airplane, watch a movie or two in the hotel because I didn't want to go out and drink. I watch movies with friends on Sundays almost every week, at least over half the week, so that's like 30 here. So first watch this year was also Heat. Last watch was Mama Roma. You watch G-Cux, the 50th, Zatoichi and the Chest of Gold at 100th, The French Connection at 150th, Crank High Voltage at 200th, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla at 250th, Dead Poet Society at 300, and Control at 350th. We did not reach 400. Most watched theme, Humanity and the World Around Us. Most watched nano genre, Monster Destruction Earth. No idea how they do those, but uh, yeah. I think everybody here is already following me, but I'm Anim John on Letterboxd too. Uh, it just showed me that you watched I saw the TV Glow on Alita Battle Angel, which is the best and worst of the year to be honest. Have you seen Let's All Go to the World's Fair by the same director? I really enjoyed that one. I saw that one first, and obviously, she made it first. Uh, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of queue up a few of these. I think it's easier to get I think it's easier to rank these when we kind of have these more out here. You find nine who alternate, who gets to choose the film, and I keep forgetting to choose the good ones. You gotta choose the good ones. Uh, we'll choose that one. Wait, is this a sequel? I can't tell the difference between those Devil Wears Pradas. The Devil Wears Prada. Okay. So we're kind of seeing all the movies here. We got a Midsummer. Just kind of plopping these on the board. We have Influenza. Influenza. I had to know what film James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez made a blood pact to make a sequel to. What movie was that? This is a short movie, I thought. Yeah, 28 minutes. Okay. Don't remember that one that well. Oh, here's a banger. I have a lot to talk about this one. Regrettably, Alita Battle Angel. Ugh. Well, I'm letting you know. I'm getting the whole range of human emotion in these pics right now. So hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. No, Saturday. Today's Saturday. Almost shocked myself. I'm not going to work tomorrow. Oh God, yeah, this is a bad one. Ratcatcher was this year. Big Shave. Ah, this is a short too, but that's a lot. I mean, these are large movies, but I would say probably 2 dozen of these are short. So anything that's like less than a half hour. So the there's a lot of number, but there's not necessarily a lot of I mean, it's a lot of time still, but it's not crazy. Never fight Zatoichi fights. Never Weekend. Oh, Harold Lloyd. Yeah, we watched a few of those movies. Bum, 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 dun, dun, dun. A Normal Family. I saw that. Okay, that's a good airplane one. Okay, this is Zatoichi the Fugitive and not Zatoichi and the Fugitive. We'll get to that one later. Uh, I don't remember which audition I saw. 1999. 7 years after the death of widow Sugar and how to find a wife from college, taking my film company. Huh. Oh, Takashi Miike. That's why I watched this. I'm like, why would I watch that? Okay, you're gonna make me put in the movie database is garbage. There's a video game database that exists that just fucking rocks everything. J Horror Virus. This was a film about how sort of horror started in Japan, like horror film, and the history is there is some early history, but it kind of covers the early like VHS era where people were literally like cranking out VHS tapes in like a studio apartment, and then just like bringing them to like rental stores or VHS shops. So a lot of like found footage, diegetically shots. Pretty interesting. I'd kind of put this higher up. This might actually beat some real movies, just because I think it covered a lot. It was very interesting. Uh, I'd watch this over Megan 2 again, but maybe not over 400 Blows. It's tough because once you get the information you need out of like a documentary. Senritsu Kaiki World Kawasagi. The most terrifying movie in history. I think this was the finale, but let me double check. Of a powerful psychic Dogen. Uh, yeah, this was higher, but this was not the best one. Looks like Proxy said 4 stars. That's fair too. Uh, Senritsu Kaikis were over here. I don't think this is better than the Slipmouth Woman. Was this better than Shivering Ghost? No. I think it's better than Fear Adventure Kokori-san. What about M3 Megan 3, a movie they're sure to make where she wears glasses? I don't know. Kudo's Secret. That's kind of going to go down to here. Because it's Kudo based, we're going to put him above Mystery Men. Kudo is the asshole everybody loves. Devil Wears Prada. Here's a Tooch movie. Uh, it was interesting. It's about fashion. I think a little bit about class warfare as well. Uh, it was a good movie, but is it better than Easy Money? Is it better than Naked Gun? Is it better than Ace Attorney? I don't think it's better than Ace Attorney. I think it's a little better than Easy Money. Midsummer. This is a horror film. Oh, gotta make sure I'm checking these off. J-horror, Senritsu, Kaiku, Devil Wears Prada. Just gotta keep the lists accurate in case something bad happens. Uh, and I skip one. Midsummer, classic horror movie from like, what was that? 2019-ish. My friend Kate has been telling me to watch this forever, like for like probably since 2019, and I finally got around to watching it this year. Really creepy, really messed up. Loved it. Uh, did not like it beyond more than the Beyond Infinite 2 minutes. Uh, is it better than Dead Poet Society? Is it better than The Long Good Friday? Better than Shot Corridor? Is it better than? I think maybe better than A Long Good Friday is why I'd put Midsummer. Then we have Influenza. That's the shorter film that we just looked up. Uh, the film starts with a man named Cho Hyuk Rae, who has perched dangerously on top of the Han River Bridge. It's a sad picture of a man who has been caught unwittingly on a security camera. The camera continues to reveal the downward spiral of Cho and those of us who surround him. The real images shown through the camera keep on becoming more corrupt as time goes by. This, like, they did some cool, cool effects and concepts there. Uh, I'm not sure I liked it better than even some of the worst Senritsu Kaiki. Uh, A Shot in the Dark. You know what? I think this is better than the Thomas Crown Affair, but we're gonna put it right below Godzilla movies. To Live and Die in L.A. Oh my God, this is such a good movie. I believe this is another Michael Mann. Is it? We're gonna find out. To Live and Die in L.A. In this movie, sorry, William Friedkin. In this movie, they got an actual counterfeiter to do actual counterfeiting, and apparently while working on the movie, yeah, 5 stars. 3.5, 5. Uh, According to some of the people who worked on the movie, they're like, we 100% accidentally passed off these bills around town, probably unwittingly. When his longtime partner on the force is killed, reckless U.S. Secret Service agent Richard Chance vows revenge, setting out to nab dangerous counterfeit artist Eric Masters. Amazing, amazing foils in this. Great action scenes. I was gonna say a little on the longer side, 116 minutes, but it does not feel like 116 minutes. 90 minutes into the movie, so much stuff has happened, and time is flying that you don't realize that much time has passed. This is gonna be very high up here. I'm actually gonna start from the top. I don't think it's a Seven Samurai. I don't think it's all that jazz. It's better than 2046 for sure. Is it better than Mahjong Yi Yi? I think it's better than Mother. I'm gonna put it between Mother and In the Mood for Love. This is just, please. I mean, it's possible this is bump below 10. Please watch To Live and Die in LA. Holy shit. Such a great movie. let's see, cross off Midsummer, cross off Influenza, cross off To Live and Die in LA. Il Posto, an older Italian film about somebody, I can't tell if he's in school or recently graduated, but he's applying for a job as like a bureaucrat in a big company and trying to get a job there. And he's only kind of sticking around because his mom is making him, but also there's a woman that he's attracted to, like in the hiring intro sections. Uh, and you just sort of receive the mundaneness of bureaucracy. This is a good mundaneness of bureaucracy movie, but there's a better one that we're gonna see a bit later. A very very nice Italian flick. Uh, is it Sweet Smell of Success good? Is it Pickpocket good? Not quite. Is it better than VHS 2? Yeah. Me Shooter McGavin. Thought it'd be higher than this. I think it's only slightly better than The Muppets Take Manhattan. Picnic at Hanging Rock, so bad. I did not enjoy this movie. It's shot well. It's about these teens who go to this rock on to have a picnic and they sort of disappear. And it's very like supernatural and mysterious, but not in a way I think that's explained very well. Uh, let's see. I hate to dunk on Megan, but like Megan 2.0 is like sort of my I really don't want to watch this again movie. Down here with Project Silence, La Ciénaga. I think this is between Paris Burning and Seventh Seal. I think I'd watch Picnic at Hanging Rock before I rewatch Seventh Seal. Uh, Shinichi Kaiki File Kawasaki, most terrifying movie in history. Uh, no, 1 second. Did I mix those two up? I'm wondering if I mixed up World and this other one. Sorry if this is a little truncated. I'm trying not to rearrange the windows too much. No, this one was amazing. What do you mean I don't want to be here all day? So that's 86. No, this one fucking slapped. This is like maybe the second best one. You know, fuck it. It even goes above Personal Shopper. It goes above her. How's it going, Chief? This one is the one that I thought was okay but not great. The Senritsu Kaiki. Yeah, that's where that one belongs. Ratcatcher. This is towards the very bottom of my criterion list. You want me to turn the music up? Every once in a while the music goes quieter loud based off of the song. Abby just wants to hear the song, and I don't blame her. Zitoki wo Koete. Have you finished Ace Combat 6 yet, Chief? Ratcatcher's pretty low here. Uh, this I'm in a real pickle here. Is Ratcatcher worse than a Nazi movie? I meant Armored Core, yeah. But have you finished Ace Combat 6 too? Uh, Ratcatcher is just like it's about some kid who accidentally kills another kid in like some slums in Britain and London. Every part of this was mundane and boring, and I didn't really care for it. Uh, The Big Shave is a short horror movie where this guy just keeps shaving himself and he's bleeding all over the place. It's pretty good. It's pretty creepy. Uh, just like doesn't do a whole lot in it, but it's a pretty nice like short little experimental film. So I might put it with these other experimental films. I'll pop it over here. I think it's better than Day Trippers. Not better than Love and Basketball. Like 12 years ago when Ace Combat 6 came out. You finish Armored Core 6 later today though. Perfect. Here we go. We talked about bureaucrats. Ikiru. I don't care what you say. This is Kurosawa's best film. And it's my favorite film. It's probably going to be my favorite film of 2025 that I saw. Uh, Carnival of Souls. I need a reminder on. I remember the film, but I just need a reminder on the plots. I was hoping I'd be playing an actual game today, but because I got started a little late and we have so many movies, this is just going to be a movie stream. But I'll talk a little bit about my game plans for the year. I think at the end of the movies, the movie rating. Mary Henry ends up the sole survivor of a fatal car. Yes, through mysterious circumstances, trying to put the incident behind her. She moves to Utah, takes a job as a church organist, but her fresh start is interrupted by visions of a fiendish man. As the visions begin to occur more frequently, Mary finds herself drawn to a deserted carnival on the outskirts of town. The strangely alluring carnival may hold the secret to a tragic past. I've never played a Silent Hill. I think those games are kind of too hard for me. Even I've seen other people play it, so I've some amount of diffusion has happened, but not uh I don't think I'd like be able to pick it up and just run through the game by any means. Carnivals of Souls was kind of mid. No, these are too good to be mid. By the way, I got these completely backwards. I think I put Arabian Nights higher and Decameron mid with Canterbury last. I was just looking at my ratings the other day and I realized that. I guess I'd rather watch this than Arabian Nights again. Uh, Even better than Better Off Dead. Not as much as Joker. Joker's not a bad movie, in my opinion. Fall into the Grace, yeah. I give you a shout out at the beginning of the stream since I'm using your playlist, by the way. I felt like the shuffle on my playlist was like letting us hear like repeats an hour into like a 20-hour playlist. Safe. This has that girl from Contact in it. No, it has Julianne Moore, not the other one, not Jodie Foster. Carol Wright, a Los Angeles housewife from the late 1980s, come down with a debilitating illness with no clear diagnosis. So she keeps going to these communities that are further away from stuff and more pure and other shits. My playlist is like so many songs as well. It said like it was 80 plus hours of music. It's just I was getting repeats. like we had three Pete's when I had to on shuffle, uh, which maybe I just shouldn't have done shuffle, but I feel like the ordering I have in there is not good. Uh, safe was a little for, I felt like I knew what was happening in safe before they did it, so gonna be below Chronos. It was still wasn't a bad movie. As far as like watching it again, Gate of Hell. Yeah, this is. I'd rather watch this whole Italian trilogy than Safe again. Fight Zatoichi Fight. Where the hell did that end up on my list? This was another like mid one. I think I put it right below Yojimbo. So we'll just plop that there too. One second. So we did Il Posto, we did Picnic, we did Senritsu, Ratcatcher, Big Shave, Ikaru, Safe. We did Fight Zatoichi Fight, did we not? What did I just put up here? No, this is Zatoichi the Fugitive. Fight Zatoichi Fight goes there. Okay, we saved it. Okay, we're fine. Never weaken. Whew. Never weaken. A skyscraper romance with Harold Lloyd. Yeah, Harold Lloyd doesn't rate highly with me, but that's okay. I appreciate it. Sunday Bloody Sunday. Remind me what that is again. Bloody Sunday. Recently divorced. Yeah, you know what? I would watch this over Sunday Bloody Sunday, I think. Yeah. A Normal Family. This was a great Korean film I saw on an airplane. A Normal Family because I took a few trips last year, and one for work and some train rides down to work. I got a lot of movie time in. My child has committed a murder. What choice do I have? Tragedy snowballs when two brothers with opposing beliefs accidentally come off a dreadful secret and a drastic choice that follows. This is how lowly did I rate this? 3.5. This is like I would probably call it a 4 star if I watched it today. It's oh whoa, what song is this from? Is this 86? I don't know what song this is from. Oh, you saw A Normal Family? I don't know. I really enjoyed it. The 86 first opening. I thought it was. They got to give us another season of 86, please. Um, the people need it. Uh, I think I'm gonna put this between Friendship and Demon Slayer. Uh, yeah. Zatoichi the Fugitive is the fourth best Zatoichi movie, as we all know. Yeah. Audition. This was that Takashi Miike movie. They won't. Incel Slap Like Soul Loving takes priority. Fuck A1 Productions. I've not seen Solo Leveling. All right. Uh, uh, I didn't rate this. When did I watch it? Does it tell me? 11th. I think I remember it. Solo Leveling fans will tell you it's incel slop. So I'm petting Anya, so I'm kind of wigged out for a second on my model. Hey, beautiful little girl. She's like Anya came in and she's laying down on the bed next to my feet while I stream. Uh, I might put it up here with Hidden Fortress. I don't remember having fond memories of it, but I don't remember being too bad. The Great Dictator. This is perfect. Great Charlie Chaplin. Uh, a great commentary and dunking on fascism. I liked it more than Harry Carey. I think this is going to be between Harry Carey and Patlabor too. That's where we're putting Charlie Chaplin. One more over, please. There we go. And I see 256 so far. I just want to. Oh wait, no, I have to cross through. That's 261. Normal Family, Zatoichi, Audition, The Great Dictator. 261, perfect. We'll do an export, so we don't lose what we have so far. This is more Gundam, I think, right? I'm blanking right now. I think I like this movie poster for Chungking Express a bit more. Every man for himself. Which Every Man for Himself did I watch? Yes, this was the Jean-Luc Godard. Look at the sexual professional lives of three people. Yes, this was quite good. Macross 7. Pretty sure it's that one. No? 1953. Yes, that looks more like it. Was this Koibun love letter? I uh I did not hate Reco as much as you did. Hanzo the Razor, we'll be talking about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot the piano player. Charade. Oh, Volunteers. This was a fun John Candy movie. Run Silent, Run Deep. I barely remember that. Ballerina, a John Wick movie. one battle after another. Don't remember which vampires this is. 2010? Show me the cat. Show me the album. Okay, it is this one. That's like the found footage one? Yeah. That was cool. Vampires. Fight without hate. Shout out to Bandits versus Samurai Squadron. Yeah, sorry, it's a little easier for me to hunt down the titles now and then go back and sort of place these once these are all down. Especially because it's easier to find them, I guess, in Letterboxd than it is the titles. What is this? Umu Monsters? Okay. I'm all my homies hate Seed. Zatoichi at large. Once we get these set up, we'll be in a good position. And then once I get a few more of these down here, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Once I get these down, I'll go grab some water. We got Mona Lisa, and then we have Mama Roma. Godzilla versus Hedorah, sorry. Uh, we're not in a break. I'm just gonna get up real quick to grab a water. You can stay there, Anya. Stay there. She followed me. She's been a very good girl with all of us being gone and moving around, so she got a little rawhide, she got a little chicken twisted around a rawhide bone. And some water. Mm, delicious. Okay. The Marachord's great. All that jazz is great. I think, what the fuck? No, not that one. Guess I don't know what title I got there. Chungking Express is going up here. It's better than Blue Velvet. It's a little worse than House. Everybody should go watch Chungking Express. Every Man for Himself is a Jean-Luc Godard. He made some great films. This is definitely going to be up here. It's better than A Cult, yeah. Is it better than Sneakers? Yep. Better than Dim Sum, better than Rosemary's Baby, better than Cleo. I think this is the zone where it's going to be in. It's an amazing film. Is it better than Dead Eye Live? I. This is a good film. I think his other films are going to sit here, but I think Every Man for Himself. is maybe a little worse than Parasites. Better than My Dinner with Skinner. Macross 7, The Galaxy is Calling Me. This is like the 37-minute film. Would they just do they do like a quick little fight. This isn't okay. This is not great Macross 7. Uh Better than the Miracle actually it might be Miracle Mile Barbarella territory. Uh Better than A Fish Called Wanda, worse than My Private Idaho. Love Letter, this was a pretty mid Japanese film. Love Letter. I think it's Koei Show. Guess that must have been a remake of it. Sad troubled man finds a new job years after the end of World War II where he writes love letters for other people. Uh, yeah, this is gonna be below the Zatoichis. Uh, Probably above the Godzillas. Invasion. Yeah, I think right here's a good spot for it. It's a little worse than Night Moves. Ronzo or not Ronzo, Hanzo the Razor, Sword of Justice. Uh, actually, I think I watched that last year, unless I have it under a different name, which I don't think I do. Me putting the quintessential quintuplets film at the top. I've never betrayed anybody in my life. uh, Hanzo the Razor. I will say the rape scene in here was wild. Fearless Edo period police inspector Hanzo Itami, nicknamed the Razor, has developed his own unique way of extracting information for his inquiries. His first adventure sees him investigating his superior officer's mistress, whom he suspects of having ties with a reputed criminal on the loose. Got a colony drop every time the ship plays? It feels like it. I would love to do a colony drop, but my soul's weighed down by gravity, so unfortunately here we are. Uh, I don't think so. It's the same actor from the Zatoichi films, but it's not as good as the Zatoichi films. Most of them. I think it's a little better than Vampire. I'd rather watch the Senritsu Kaiki films, pretty much all of them, over Hanzo the Razor. Shoot the Piano Player, classic story about a piano player who used to be involved with some criminals and had gone somewhat straight, but now is pulled back. And you thought he was out, but they pulled him right back in. I feel like this is a good zone for it. It's fine. It's not as good as the Devil Wears Prada. Not as bad as Easy Money, I think. Okay. Charade. This is great. This is gonna be like a top 20 for sure. Uh, Better I just read the description. I thought I was watching it for the first time with Abby, but it turned out I was doing a rewatch because halfway through I'm like, oh my God, has this been referenced somewhere that I know how it's gonna end? And that's maybe the case, but uh, after Regina Lampert falls for the dashing Peter Joshua on a skiing holiday in the French Alps, she discovers upon her return to Paris that her husband has been murdered. Soon, she and Peter are given chase to three of her late husband's World War II cronies, Tex, Scooby, and Gideon. This has George Kennedy in it, by the way, uh, from the Naked Gun movies. Tech Scooby and Gideon, who are after $250,000 the quartet stole while behind enemy lines. Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn, you got Walter Matthau, you got George Kennedy, Ned Glass. You got some classics in here. This is great. But yeah, we were watching it and I'm like halfway through, I'm like, oh my God, this looks so much familiar. And like there's a scene with a guy with a hook hand. I'm like, this is gonna happen. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And I look back and when was the 2 times I saw it? So let's look at logs. So yeah, I saw this in February 2021, and then I later rewatched it September 2025. So I was gonna do a rewatch of it anyway for the Criterion Collection, like my ranking of that, because I'm not counting movies I've seen before until I rewatch them. But still, surprised even me. So sometimes you can watch so many movies you forget. This is gonna be pretty high. I think it's better than Eraserhead, better than Repo Man for sure, better than Sneakers. Better than Dim Sum, better than Rosemary's Baby. I think better than Roy. It has to be better than My Dinner with Skinner. Ro, you seem like someone who enjoys modern Simpsons. Gotta hope someone understands that reference. I don't understand that reference. I'm sorry. I'm kind of thinking where this goes up here. I think it's up here. Do I like it better? I don't like it better than Stray Dog, but I think I do like it better than Bicycle Thieves. Charade is just so fucking good. Volunteers, Tom Hanks and John Candy go to Vietnam to help build bridges for the Peace Corps, where they're attacked by militia, CIA agents. Uh, oh, modern Simpsons, yeah. I've not seen. I don't think I've seen a Simpsons episode in the last decade. I think before then I was mostly just watching like the Treehouse of Horrors, or somebody sent me a clip. So yeah, in Volunteers, John Candy ends up being captured uh, by the communists and brainwashed, and he's just like, oh yeah, we're doing this for the people, down with the proletariat. It was very funny. He played it very well. This is kind of gonna go into my fun movies area. I think it's a little better than Miracle Mile. Killer Sheep. I'm gonna switch Miracle Mile and these around. I think I'd rather see Barbarella than Killer of Sheep. Yeah, I think we're gonna bump down a fish called Wanda a couple pegs too. You watch the Treehouses at some point. What they're doing is just Julie Kavner is elder abuse. Who does she voice act in that? Is she like the? Is she Lisa? Let's see. Marge, gotcha. Uh, I think I'd put this right here now. Volunteers. This isn't like a Bruce Willis situation where they're just like some estate is making her act. Is it? Run silent, run deep. Captain of a submarine sunk by the Japanese in World War II is given a chance to skipper another sub after a year of working his desk job. His single-mindedness determination for revenge against the destroyer that sunk his previous vessel puts his new crew in unnecessary danger. Uh, yeah, I guess that is Clark Gable. Again, I think this is a fine movie. This is kind of gonna go in this area. It's not as good as Summertime, but I think it's better than Kronos. Maybe it gets a buff because it's like a fun wartime movie. Ballerina, terrible plot, but great fight scene. So where would I put something that has no story but very amazing visuals? I don't want to say anything bad about Flow because I think they had a good story and good visuals, but maybe a little better than Naked Gun, 2.5. Not as good as the Ace Attorney movie. One battle after another that came out like on HBO streaming not too long ago, so we got it. Uh, this is gonna go up there. Okay, maybe I don't think it's as good for me as like Hard Boiled or The Hangman Also Die or Wild at Heart. Maybe it's down a little further. I'd put it better than Eraserhead and Police Story on the waterfront. Maybe it goes down here. Maybe it's a little. No, I think it goes up here. It's better than Eraserhead, worse than Repo Man. And we have a break. So that'll give me a second to stretch, get some water. Okay. Hopefully the people are coming back from ads here in a minute. Uh, I'm not sure if Pepsi still counts because caffeine sort of dehydrates you, doesn't it? We have about 100 movies left. Uh, I think, don't we? It's 272. How many movies have I seen? 376. Okay. 20, 40, 60. Uh, Vampires. This is like a found footage mockumentary style about vampires. This was really enjoyable. Kind of funny, a little slow. Let's see. Just better than Noise is Off. It's definitely better than Noise is Off. Better than Contacts. Maybe not as good as Dead Poet Society. So that's where you belong. So we went through like 50 movies in that hour with some preamble. So let's see if we can at least get another 50 done. This is Fight Without Hate. This is Nazi propaganda. A documentary cover the this is in St. Moritz. Oh wait, definitely the cheekiest commentary. I think I wrote something on here. Good color commentary. Okay, yeah, this was actually pretty good. I do remember that. It got 3 stars, but it's gonna be up here with the guy who runs well. I'd put it even above the runner there. The runner had this Alain Mimon had a very like good story about him, but I think Fight Without Hate had some wild stuff for commentators to have on tape. Uh, Bandits versus Samurai Squadron. Oh, it looks like Good Job's in the Schrodinger's box. 50% alive, 50% dead. Uh, let's see if we can find it. Bandits versus Samurai Squadron. Uh, I was watched this because a friend watched it a while ago, and he's like, "You got to watch this, Nick. It's got Japanese chins in it, which are the same dogs. At least 3 Japanese chins, and not only are there Japanese chins, there's plot relevant chins. These are plot relevant Japanese chins. Uh, as far as the uh, Kumo Kiri Nizamon, a former samurai warrior, has abandoned his class to become a leader of a gang of thieves. He leads his outlaws in an attempt to rob the castle of his former clan. So the actual how they protect the treasure and try to steal it is very creative, like a very fun, I guess, like heist versus counter heist movie. And that's Japanese chins apart aside. When one of the 4 Magic games stay at the shop, that's great. I think back when I was doing Magic, if I didn't go completely defeated, I would consider that a good time. Uh, Maybe other people have higher goals. Bandit vs Samurai Squadron, I think, is going to go above the Zatoichis. It's got the chin buff. Uh, Better than the Blob, I think so. Better than Night of the Living Dead. Yep. Leon. Yep. 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 Let's skip ahead. Better than Punishment Park, maybe. I think it's better than Conclave and Inland Empire, but not as good as Punishment Park. How was Avatar versus Spider-Man? Oh, I assume that's or there's like the active Magic sets right now. Purple Cats versus Web Slingers. Oh, that's the making of Battle of Algiers. This is based off of the real Battle of Algiers. I think this movie is particularly interesting because they brought around, or they had freedom fighters that had survived the Battle of Algiers in the movie playing parts. Uh, it shows their fight for freedom in a really positive light. I really enjoyed it for the movie it was. This is like kind of in Z territory for me. Breathless. Down by Law. Oh God, I hate to put this right above Mean Guns, but this was the content of the movie was great. How the movie like how I enjoyed it as a movie versus as a like political statement and an appreciation of the people who fought is not accurately represented here. So the monsters. Need a reminder of the monsters. I would love to watch this. The myths of the 60s are satirized in 20 episodes. I'll keep an eye out for that. This is a ranking of liking the movies, not how important they are. Uh, which is tough because I think there's like, I mean, I think there's obviously more cinematic movies on this list than, Pat Labor 2, the movie. But try to take everything into account. Like sometimes I really like a movie and it's important, and that works out well. One day Kenji meets a man who makes his own monster movies. Oh, okay. This is really good. One day Kenji, a man who makes his own monster movies, meets a 9-year-old girl named Juria who is wandering around town. When Kenji learns that Juria is not attending school and is being abused by her mentally ill mother, he gives her a dog-shaped toy to watch over her and tells her to turn on the recording switch to film when her mother abuses her. Later that day, he receives a dog toy from Jurian, which contains images that make him want to cover his eyes. This is very good. Who made this? Natoshi Kiede? Asian dog meat reporter, dog, Asako, hidden contamination. I'm just gonna throw his other stuff on here. I thought this movie was like very well done. Nice little like found footage slash diegetic style. Multiple viewpoints since you have like the nanny cam he was giving. Uh, covers multiple aspects. The guy shooting the film, like essentially child protective services, like equivalent in Japan, and the workers there. And you get to see what she perceives as happening, what is actually happening around her mother, including some past context and how she got to be that way. Just like very very well put together. Uh, I think this belongs up here, sort of in my other well done found footage. Is it better than A Record of Sweet Murder to me? It's close. Record of Sweet. I think I like it a little better than Record of Sweet Murder, but it's pretty close. And a little under a Confusion. Okay. Zatoichi at Large. I remember this. This is like another mid one. Where did I put it on my list originally? Oh, seventh. Uh, right under Flashing Sword and Conspiracy. Yeah. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I think I put that right above King Kong versus Godzilla. Where are the Godzillas at? Yeah. I have sort of like smaller lists I made for these series, and I'm kind of putting most of the time them together, just because that's what I feel like doing. You mean peak versus peak? It was not my favorite. Let's. I put number one is the original Godzilla, and then I put Destroy All Monsters, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Mothra versus Godzilla, and Invasion of Astro Monster were my top five, with Son of Godzilla being a six. And then for me, they kind of fell off. I gotta update my checklist here. Fights, bandits, Algier, monsters, large, Godzilla. Get in the easy 8, John. Is this '08 MS Squad? Uh, okay, we added those films to my watch list. Mona Lisa. This is a much better Bob Hoskins movie. George is a small town crook just out of prison who discovers his rough guy image is out of date. Reduced to working as a minder driver for high class car girl Simone, he has to agree when she asks him to find a young colleague from the King's Cross days. That's when George's trouble starts. Uh, yeah, I would definitely watch that over most of the Zatoichis. I'd watch it over Monkey Man, watch it over Klutz, The Conversation. Uh, would I? What else do we have here? Three Women, Belle. We're gonna put it right above Rushmore, I think. But there's some wiggle room here depending on how I feel on a particular day. Uh, Mama Roma. This is about another. This is another call girl movie. An Italian prostitute ends up taking her, uh, getting her son back and moving to the city to try to work an honest job at a food stall. And get him out of a life of crime and get him a real job. And she tries all these like tricks and schemes to get him employed in different places, and none of them quite work out. Slash, he's sort of sabotaging himself, and it goes poorly. And in the end, she sacrifices and does all this. He goes to prison. She goes back to the streets, and you know, kind of a bummer of a movie, but uh, enjoyable. I liked it. Let's see. I'm thinking of putting it here, between Summertime and Run Silent, Run Deep. Just let me sort of probe some other places. It's a little worse than Z. It's a little better. You know what? No. I think it's between Z and Battle of Algiers here. Solid, fine movie. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Fun fact, you mentioned how your dog, for whatever reason, really likes Gundam Double O, but he also really fucking likes '08 too. I don't know if Anya has seen any Gundam. I think we're mostly Gundam out. Well, I guess we saw G-Cux this year, so she probably saw some G-Cux with us. Mm. Oh yeah, where we're at. Godzilla versus Hedorah. Where's my Godzilla? This is right below Ebirah, Horror of the Deep. Let me just make sure I got my ordering right here. We have Invasion of the Astro Monster, Son of Godzilla, Ebirah, Horror of the Deep, and then Godzilla versus Hedorah. And then Mothra versus Godzilla actually goes above Invasion of the Astro Monster. Then we have Hedorah, and then we have Megalon, Terra Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, King Kong, All Monsters Attack. Okay. Now we're at it. Let's just double check the Zatoichis. It's easier to do this now than later. Uh, we have Tale of Zatoichi. Which one's that? That's actually Outer Space, sorry. We got Tale from Zatoichi, Zatoichi the Fugitive, Flashing Sword, yep. Then Conspiracy, At Large, Chess Experts, then hopefully that's Kane Sword, then hopefully that's Zatoichi's Vengeance, okay. Zatoichi's Revenge, Zatoichi is in the gold chest. Goes up 2. You're supposed to have Cane Sword, and then Chest of Gold, then Vengeance, Revenge. Is that Samaritan Zatoichi? Actually goes right below Cane Sword. Yeah, some of these I was doing kind of sloppy on the first day. Cane Sword, Samaritan, Chest of Gold. Yep, yep, yep. And then is what? Did I not drag that properly? Cane Sword. No, I grabbed it. Oh, Yojimbo. Oh my god. So that's Samaritan Zatoichi. So Cane, Samaritan, Chest of Gold, Vengeance, Revengeance. Then Zatoichi meets Yojimbo. Then fights. Pilgrimage. Challenge. Yep. Swap challenge and on the road. This goes before on the road. Challenged. Desperation, and the new tail is Zatoichi. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good now. We cut back up, sorry. Uh, you think she'll like Hathaway when we get ready to watch the sorcery of the Nymph Cirque? I think so too. I'm really looking forward to her watching Hathaway. Uh, that was Godzilla versus Hedorah that I just put on there, right? Yeah. Okay. Next batch, aye. That'll eat. Actually, 282. Just double check that. 282. Perfect. Exports. 282. Zatoichi and the Outlaw. Uh, Mikey and Nikki. This was a wild film with Peter Falk again. Ooh. Olympia Part 2, Festival of Beauty. XXXXX. Uh, in my personal watch through of the Olympic movies, I am not I'm not ranking them. Do 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 flying in the rain. This is a good song. All We Imagine Is Lights. This is a movie I thought was going to be in the Criterion Collection, but they just had it on their channel for streaming. But I thought they were adding it as a spine number, and they never did. So I did not enjoy the movie, and that was a waste of time for me to make progress, you know? So I didn't make progress in the Criterion Collection watching it, and I didn't enjoy it. Tampopo, that's a really fun movie. Sinners, that's a good movie too. Godzilla vs. Gigan. We got some Nicolas Cage in here with Cher. Not in Godzilla vs. Gigan, but in Moonstruck. Oh, Cure. Yes, I saw somebody was rewatching this, and Cure is really good. The Royal Tenenbaums. Tokyo Drifter. Oh, so many good movies this year. There's a lot of these. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. Oh, wait a minute. Did I put the wrong Naked Gun in here? I don't think so. No, that's from the police squad. Okay. I thought I put this one on here twice on accident, but I did not. Uh, Pretty sure that's the boat people I saw. Just want to double check it. It's very easy to look these up. This is the 1982 boat people. I might just do that title just to be safe. Yeah. Okay, that is the correct one. And I watched this. This has nothing to do with the video game series. That was really a letdown for me. That does not look like a Chow Yun Fat cover. This looks like it. This is good with kanji. You got a Chinese movie and you put in the kanji, it'll pull it right up. Uh, Better Tomorrow too. This is pretty good. They really had fun with this one. I had fun watching it. You Can Count on Me. That's a Mark Ruffalo. I wish it was Sisters. It was the Sisters. Actually, much better Sisters. I'm glad it was the Sisters. Oh, so I see stress for a second. Let's okay. Let's hammer these out. We got Zatoichi the Outlaw. This is between Pilgrimage and Doomed Man. So where's Pilgrimage at here? Pilgrimage, Doomed Man. Okay. Uh, Mikey and Nikki. That was Peter Falk and somebody else I'm forgetting. Mikey and Nikki. Nick is desperate, holed up in a cheap hotel, suffering from an ulcer and convinced that a local mob boss wants him killed. Desperate and terrified, he calls Mikey, his friend since childhood and a fellow gangster. So begins a long night. This was shot pretty well, and always keeps you guessing exactly what is happening with the plot. Is somebody after him? Is it in his head? Is it some combination? We don't always know. Just gonna move that down slightly so there's more. You can see the bottom row movies when we get to it. Uh, this is kind of Dead Ringers territory. Yeah, but I'd rather watch these Senritsu Kaikis before I'd watch that. Rather watch a Demon Slayer again. You know what? Demon Slayer and Normal Family. That's a good place for Mikey and Nikki. Or Nikki and Mikey. Olympia Part 2. Okay. Just another Nazi film, because it's going to go down in the Nazi film category if it is. Olympia. Oh no, I don't want that there. Part 2 of Leif of Leni Riefenstahl's monumental examination of the 1932 Olympics. The camera leaves the main stadium and ventures into the many halls, fields. Uh, okay, maybe this isn't that one. That's Youth of the World, yeah. So where was part 1 of this at? Do we have that here yet? Where's Olympia Part 1? Yeah, it should be in here. Olympia Part 1. Yeah, we'll just slide it next to here. The Tale of Zatoichi continues. Oh my god. This is the second best Zatoichi movie. Tale of Zatoichi continues. Returning to the village where a year before he had killed Hirate, a much admired opponent, Zatoichi encounters another swordsman and former rival in love. Yeah, okay, I didn't write what was in here, but this is the second best Zatoichi movie, and I'm gonna treat it as such. Uh, yeah, so Tale of Zatoichi was third. This is Tale of Zatoichi continues. So the second one is better than the first, right? Yeah. That's the tale, right? Not the new tale. Okay. Uh, Great Outdoors. This is a John Candy, Dan Aykroyd movie. I actually like this a little less than Volunteers. So where the hell did I put Volunteers at on this list? Somewhere in here. There we go. Yeah, I liked it a little less than Volunteers. I probably wouldn't watch it again. Naked Kiss better. Man Push Carts. Yeah, I'm gonna put between Man Push Cart and Ephus for me. All I imagine is like that. This was like I just didn't enjoy it. This might go below the Olympic movies, but higher than 7. Yeah. Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Watched this for the first time with Abby because she had never seen it. And I was making references to it left and right. Pretty amazing Kubrick. Uh, it is quite slow. Oh, The Trial, City on Fire. Trying to figure out where it blows here. It's a top 3 James Earl Jones movie for sure. Uh, I think it's gonna be kind of around here for me right now. A little better than Project MK Hex, a little worse than Sweet Record of Murder. It's definitely worse than Monsters, worse than A Confusion, less than Wings of Desire for me. Definitely better than Spinal Tap. I think it's better than Juror number 2 despite the pacing. Sullivan's Travels. Yeah, I think this is okay for it. I'm okay putting it there. Tampopo. This is a amazing little Japanese comedy about a ramen shop and the people surrounding it. And this humorous tie-in to the joys of food, a pair of truck drivers happen into a decrepit roadside shop selling ramen noodles. The widowed owner, Tampopo, begs them to help her turn her establishment into a paragon of the art of noodle soup making. Interspersed are satirical vignettes about the importance of food to different aspects of the human life. Really enjoyed this. I only rate the movie when I see it, but this would be like a 4 star. This is better than Guidance. This is better than Occult. This is better than Sneakers. If we're talking about food, it's definitely better than Dim Sum. Is it better than Noroi the Curse? I think I'm gonna put it right above Phoenician Scheme. Tampopo, amazing movie. Uh, Sinners, she's gonna be pretty high up here too. Definitely at least the first half. Better than Midsummer, but I'd rather watch this again or City on Fire. Probably City on Fire. I'm definitely not giving Sinners the love it deserves, but this is my list. What's with that fucking humming? Is that part of the song? I did not like that. I'm gonna take a little liberty here. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. Didn't mean to skip past this. Dude, a banger song. I'm just gonna. I just want to jam out to this for a second. That's a great song. It's from I forget if it's the G-Quux. I think it's the intro? No, is it the outro? It's the outro, right? Godzilla versus Gigan. Where we go for you. Again, if you're watching the VOD, you just lose out on all the music. Godzilla versus Gigan. Between Hedorah and Megalon. Oh, that's Hedorah? Yeah, right there. You guys send me that JPEG then. I'll take a look at it later. Uh, Moonstruck. Nicolas Cage's brother is jealous of his, or Nicolas Cage is jealous of his brother's fiance, which is Cher, and they end up falling in love. A movie I was happy to watch exactly once. Kind of in the happy to watch once category. Definitely would rather watch Barbarella. Would rather watch Volunteers again. Definitely Killer Sheep. Eh, maybe it's right above Killer Sheep. Not quite Volunteers. Cure. Oh my God, yeah. Let's just get the canonical. Detectives are spiraling out of control when a wave of gruesome murders with seemingly similar bizarre circumstances is sweeping Tokyo. Oh my God, what a fucking mystery movie here. For me, it's gonna slide in between Strange Harvest and Don't Peek. Amazing movie. I love these movies, these mystery movies that make you question how reliable the narrator is. You don't, we don't know. I don't think we, I mean, maybe we never know how unreliable the narrator is or where they're unreliable, but something that can introduce that into the story in a meaningful way, make you question that, and what aspects are true or not, I think is huge. Uh, Royal Tannenbaums. Where we go here? You can pretty much always talk me into watching Royal Tenenbaums. More than Dead Ringers. This might be Kiss Kiss Bang Bang territory. Noise is off. Naked Lunch. Yeah. This is going to slot in right between Naked Lunch and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Royal Tenenbaums. Love to see it. Tokyo Drifter. This is relatively short, but like very stylish. A lot of fun. I think this like falls under 90 minutes. 83 minutes. This is the most 83 minutes of your life. Like this 83 minutes they pack in on like I think like a 2 hour movie. After Yakuza boss Kurata dissolved his own criminal empire, a rival kingpin offers a position to Kurata's top operative, Tetsuya Phoenix Tetsu Hondo. When the fiercely loyal Tetsu declines, Otsuka taps unstoppable Tatsuzo the Viper, a ruthless gun for hire to assassinate him. As the Viper trails his target through the countryside, the agile Phoenix Tetsu grows concerned that one of his former associates has betrayed him. Uh, what is this? Tokyo? Not. Oh, Drifter is Nagaresha? Nagaresha? Okay. Learned a new word today. Uh, really enjoyed it. Good movie, good pacing, very respectful of time. Where would I want to watch this at? Uh, I think I'm gonna put it right above this film I couldn't find. This is the house walkthrough. Uh, actually, dang it. What is it? The movie. I'd really like to find out what this is called. 2016? No. Okay. That sucks. Where'd we go? This tab. Uh, the new Naked Gun movie. This is worse than all the other Naked Gun movies. I did not enjoy it. The Naked Gun. Uh, so we have. Is that 33 and a third? Where did we put Naked Gun 33 and a third at? Here? No, that's a big year. Doing my best, but it's very small text at this point. Or 33 and a third not come up yet? Should be on here. Uh-oh. Liam Neeson did need money. Here we go. Naked Gun 33 and a third. This is. I'd watch it more than Seventh Seal. I'd watch it more than. Uh, this is going all the way down here. I'd rather watch both Paris is Burning and A Better Tomorrow 3 than to watch Naked Gun again. Isn't half the reason Naked Gun and Airplane work was because his face had a long career as a serious actor? Uh, I think so. I think he did play like this the straight guy in like some TV shows and some other movies. Okay, gotta keep my list up to date here. Boat people is what's up next. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Nick a gun on there. Who would be a modern day Leslie Nielsen? I don't know either. The Boat People. A Japanese photojournalist revisits Vietnam after the liberation to document the nation and begins following and documenting the young children from a poor Vietnamese family. This was a pretty good movie. It's better than Lower Depths, I think. Better than Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Better than Midsummer. Let's see. Is it on par with Shot Corridor? I think it's a little better than Shot Corridor. Persona. I think this is the one about the person who falls in love with a nurse or becomes a nurse. A young nurse Alma is put in charge of Elizabeth Vogler, an actress who is seemingly healthy in all respects but will not talk. As they spend time together, Alma speaks to Elizabeth constantly, never receiving an answer. I think this is like where they end up swapping or something. I don't remember. Uh, the last picture show, Naked Gun. You know, it wasn't terrible. I'd put it down here maybe. A little better than Megan. The Killer. Yes, yes, yes. This is good. The Killer. Nope, bad, wrong killer. Bad killer. Good killer. Mob assassin Jeffrey is no ordinary hired gun. The best in his business. He views his chosen profession as a calling rather than simply a job. So in a beautiful nightclub, Chanteuse Jenny is blinded in the crossfire of his most recent hits. Blinded in the crossfire. He shoots the gun like right next to her eyes. Uh, is blinded in the crossfire of the most recent hit. Jeffrey chooses to retire after one last job to pay for his unintended victim's site restoration operation. But when Jeffrey is double-crossed, he reluctantly joins forces with a rogue policeman to make things right. Yeah, so this is obviously gonna have to be better than Hard Boiled. Where was Hard Boiled at up here? That's Stray Dog, that's Sharon. Bicycle Thieves. There we go, Hard Boiled. This is better than Hard Boiled. Is it better than yes, better than Mishima. Is it better than Heat? Is it better than Macross Delta? I think it's better than Macross Delta, but not as good as Bicycle Thieves. Better Tomorrow 2. This was, I think, a little better than Better Tomorrow 1, which we haven't rated yet. So where would I sort of clump a Better Tomorrow at? Uh, Better than Mulholland Drive for me. Better than Frontier. Better than VHS. Better than Dead Ringers. Better than Contact. Better than Spinal Tap. Let's see, that's Monsters. It's a Confusion. Swings of Desire. Sullivan's Travels. Juror number 2. Spinal Tap. I think they're probably going to live around here, with a Better Tomorrow 1 being probably right beneath it. Macross Delta Zed Live with 6 exclamation points, Abby. The number of exclamation points is plot relevant, please. You can count. Speaking of Avengers, this says I think Mark Ruffalo. You can count on me. Thank you. Thank you for the 6 exclamation points. Uh, A single mother's life is thrown into turmoil after a struggling, rarely seen younger brother returns to town. This is sort of a nice feel-good movie. 1 second, let's. Please don't crash, please don't crash. Laura Linney, Mark Ruffalo, some other people I don't know. It was a fine movie though. Nice little feel-good. Let's see, it's not bad. I'd probably never want to watch it again though. Sorry, Killer Sheep and Moonstruck are just kind of like a dividing line for me down here. For movies I'd probably never want to watch again, but aren't necessarily bad. Sisters. This is a Gundam. Inquisitive journalist Grace Collier is horrified when she witnesses when her neighbor, fashion model Danielle Breton, violently murder a man. Panicking, she calls the police, but when the detective arrives at the scene and finds nothing amiss, Grace is forced to take matters into her own hands. Her first move is to recruit private investigator Joseph Larch, who helps her to uncover a secret about Danielle's past that has them both seeing double. This is Brian De Palma. He does great. I mean, he's done Scarface, Mission Impossible, Carrie, Untouchable, Snake Eyes. This is a fantastic director. I don't think I've seen Carlito's Way. Have I seen Obsession? I don't remember. I mean, doesn't say I did. I've seen Snake Eyes before, but it hasn't been logged because I haven't seen it in a way where I know what day it's happening. Uh, but yeah, this is a great Brian De Palma, and it will be reflected as such. Definitely better than Extra Outer Space, Punishment Park. Yeah. Better than Monkey Man. Better than Detour. Better than Ace in the Hole, even. We're talking mysteries. It's definitely better than Clute and The Conversationalist, in my opinion. Il Postal, yeah. Dead Ringers. Better than 1984. Better than Eating Rahul. Better than Vampires, yeah. Better than A Good Long Friday. Better than Midsummer. Okay, we're kind of going up higher than I expected here. Pickpockets. Boat People. Shot Corridor. Better than Shot Corridor. Maybe not better than Boat People. So we'll plop that there. It was Boat People, Persona, The Killer, Better Tomorrow, You Can Count on Me, Sisters. Uh, we've got like 70 more to go. Let's see what I can knock out here. Beauty and the Beast. It's this one. The very original Beauty and the Beast. Uh, yeah, this is fine. It's gonna go down here in the movies. I'd probably never want to watch again. Uh, pretty far down actually. Uh, I'd rather, yeah, son of a bee. Please restore everything. It was running sluggish. Okay, everything's restored. Nothing bad happened, thankfully. And then we're gonna go right before here. Maybe the reason they don't have the number set so high is because the way this website's coded up. 1 second, Alt Control, or where is Chrome task? Nope. That shortcut didn't do what I wanted it to do. Where's this at? Just gonna keep an eye on the task manager, I guess. Okay. Uh, son of a baby. We might have ads coming up in a few minutes, but we're gonna try to throw a few more in here. Eyes Without a Face. Yeah, so sorry. If it wasn't explicit, Chrome crashed, and so it took a second to get back here. Eyes Without a Face. Pretty good mystery. Not as good as Klutz, not maybe I liked it a little better than Mulholland Drive. Not better than Hidden Fortress, so that is where we'll put that one at. Uh, oh, here we go. Better Tomorrow. Let's see where a Better Tomorrow one went. Yeah, slot you right in there. I'm cool with that. Just a quick number check here. 306. Ugh. Posters, and where are we at here? 306. Everything is Gucci so far. Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. Movie that I know a lot of people liked more than me. Uh, so it's gonna go down here in the. I saw it once, and that's maybe too much. You know, I'd watch Naked Gun again before I watch that. It isn't saying much. Silence of the Lambs. First time seeing this movie. Phenomenal this year. I'd always seen like clips or parts of it, but I've never seen the whole thing. Uh, kind of amazingly done throughout. Definitely better than Novocaine, Inland Empire, maybe Conclave. Uh, I think maybe it's right here. I really enjoyed it, so this isn't a bad place. It's better than Novocaine, not as bad as Inland Empire. Uh, not as bad. Not like it was a bad movie. Olympic Games in Paris. I guess gonna go down here in Olympic slop, I guess. Sorry. Senritsu Kaiki, The True Story of the Ghost of Yotsuya. Uh, is that the one I think it is? Uh, another 3.5 or so. Maybe around there. Don't think it was as good as the Kokori-san. Uh, then we have Mads. This was like a zombie movie? I'm keeping an eye out. We're probably going to be slammed with ads here any minute, so. Well, it says 4 minutes until pre-roll ads are off. I don't know if that means it's going to do them at the 3 minute mark or if it does them at the 0 minute mark. Teenagers stop off to see a dealer to test a new drug before heading off tonight partying. On the way home, he picks up an injured woman, and it takes a surreal turn. Uh, this was a fine movie. Good. It was. I think this is. It's a better than Night of the Living Dead for me. I think so. Uh, no relation to Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah. Night of the Living Dead. Is that somewhere around here? Hard to tell from all the text on the side where everything's at. There we go. Night of the Living Dead. Better than Leon. Better than Novocaine. Maybe not as good as Silence of the Lambs though. Wow. How does that letterbox tab take up 400 megabytes? What has happened to the internet? A Woman Under the Influence. I need another reminder of that movie. This is a John Cassavetes. Another Peter Falk. Oh, and we'll get back to that here in a second. Muppet Babies, making your dream come true. John Candy, I like me. Just gonna try and get these laid out a little bit. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. Uh, I tried queuing up some more of these, just for record keeping purposes. We're at 311. What did I say the count was? 376, so we have 65 more to go! Oh, we are in the final stretch here. Uh, then we have Influence of a Woman, which I need a reminder on what that was. Uh, Mabel Longhetti, desperate and lonely, is married to a Los Angeles municipal construction worker, Nick. Increasingly unstable, especially in the company of others, she craves happiness, but her extremely volatile behavior convinces Nick that she poses a danger to their family and decides to commit her to an institution for 6 months. Alone with the trio of kids raised on his own, he waits her return, which holds more than a few surprises. Emotionally, this was a tough movie to watch, just because you were seeing what both her and the family was going through. So even though it was a good movie, it might not rate highly on the likes. Yeah, it's probably gonna be below the Zatoichis. Love Letter. I think it belongs in the block above Godzilla, but beneath Love Letter. And then we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I saw this pretty recently. Uh, this movie had a lot of setup for a good like 15 minutes at the end. The 15 minutes at the end I thought were really enjoyable, but I don't know if it was worth. I don't know if the juice was worth the squeeze, you know? Uh, below the French. I think it's just below French Connection and Breakfast of Champions. This was a movie that people have been telling me for a while to see, and I'd absolutely love it. And I'm like, it was fine. Uh, Paprika. I know a lot of people love this anime movie, about sort of the dream world and the real world merging together through the use of technology. Where do I want to put it? This is definitely one of those movies that if people want to sit down and watch again, I would. So more than I can say about the G Cux movie, more than I can say about Guidance even. Uh, I put it right above On the Waterfront. Gonna have to consult the Zatoichi list for Zatoichi and the Fugitives. Uh, my Zatoichi lists. Zatoichi and the Fugitives. Between Desperation and New Tale of. Okay, that makes it simple. Uh, John Candy, I Like Me. This is kind of also going to live down here in the documentary zone. Not that it was bad. Just when I think about watchability, it's going to be lower. Uh, that's Haxon. Where do I want to put this at? I think better than Persona. Rather watch this more than Megan. Happy Death Day I'd probably watch again before this. I enjoyed it, but like I said, for like watchability, great to watch exactly once, and that's not a bad movie. John Candy, I Like Me, done. Being John Malkovich was a real weird movie. with the John Cusack. They find a door that leads you into John Malkovich to controlling him. Uh, Apparently, this is how like this one group becomes essentially immortal, is by going through different doors and sort of taking over different people's lives. To just keep living. Uh, Worse than Dead Ringers, I think. Worse than Ring for me. Maybe worse than Monkey Man. Worse than Mulholland Drive. Woman Under the Influence. Vampire. I think I'd watch John Malkovich before I watch Night Moves again. Darjeeling Limited. Another one of those Wes Anderson films where you're trying to get the whole squad together. Uh, Really enjoyed Darjeeling Limited. I think the Phoenician Scheme is somewhere around here. Maybe not as much as the Phoenician Scheme. Tokyo Guidance. I think right about before The Shadow is a good place for you. Out of the Past. Actually, let me see if I can do one thing here real quick. Uh, my house. Okay, change that to my house walkthrough. Sorry, doing some HTML hacking. I really want to get this one right if I can help it. PNG. Gonna have to bear with me as I try to fix this. Okay, those are for ads. Wow, this is a lot of like, uh, maybe poster. Okay. What happens if I do top search here? Genius. Whew. Okay. Am I the smartest person who's ever lived? Yes. Uh, that's being John Malkovich. Darjeeling Limited, Out of the Past. This is where a guy gets sort of. This is another one where a guy gets sort of pulled back in from a sketchy history. Peaceful life of gas station owners interrupted when a man from his past arrived in town and forced him to return to the dark world he had tried to escape. Definitely not as good as Run Silent, Run. It's maybe slightly better than Run Silent, One Deep. Not as good as Summertime. Excellent, it's keeping that. And then we have Godzilla Raids Again. Back to the Godzilla hole. This was the worst Godzilla movie of the show era, and maybe of all time. Worst Godzilla movie I've ever seen. Sorry. The good Cowboy Bebop movie, the Haname. Where do I want to put anime Bebop? Bum, 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 diddly bum, 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 bum. I think I had a lot of overlap. Better than FB7, listen to my song, I think. Maybe not better than Mean Guns. Mir. This is another one of those Tarkovsky movies. I said I just did not, don't really enjoy his stuff, and that's okay. It's not for me. So where was Solaris at in here? Liked it better than Solaris. Like I like G Savior better than this. Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I like it better than a Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Maybe I think slightly more than Color Pomegranates too. Maybe it's better than I thought it was. Not as good as G Savior. That's a mirror. Okay, we got like 50 some left now. Let's Lady Hawk. This was a hell of a fantasy movie. I gotta be very careful here because I could pull stuff down and accidentally like write over other things. So I need to be very careful. Uh, that's Lady Hawk, Children of Men, which if you've not seen Children of Men in the last year, it is a treat. Beat Us Halloween. We got one of those this year. This is going to be the best Zatoichi movie, by the way. Zatoichi Goes to the Fire Festival. It's where they should have just stopped with the series. Uh, yeah, I'll get to it when we get to the movie, but I'll tell you at least like parts of what I thought was maybe more relevant today. Zatoichi meets the one-armed swords. Is it because I didn't type in man? Fucking string matching is garbage on this fucking website. Uh, I don't know which Insomnia that was. Insomnia 1997. Yeah. It's not the one with the comedian. Patch Adams. Why am I blanking on his name? Robin Williams, that's it. So let's see, that was Insomnia Bound. Life of Bell. Did I watch that? Was that the bad found footage movie I saw? Life of Bell. I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall this movie at all. I'm sure I watched it. I gave it higher than 3 stars, so. POV, cursed film. Monsieur Hulot's Holiday. Okay. Gonna ding me because I misspelled Monsieur. Police Story, which I think was better than the original Police Story. The White Stadium. The Importance of Being Earnest. Yes. Let me make sure I spell it right. The really old one, which I like the new one too. Uh, Good movie, good movie. Campfire Tales. Eudora. The Three-Headed Monster. The Asphalt Jungle. Uh, Long Legs. I saw that towards the beginning of the year too. War and Peace. I think it's this second one, but I want to make sure. War and Peace, 1967. This was in 4 parts, by the way. I might have to just want to give it the Russian title. Greatest motion picture ever made. Romance lived. Adventure story written. And it is 422 minutes. So, and I'm like, oh, I got some short films in there. It's because I also have some of those. War and Peace. Tokyo Story. This was a good movie. I need to watch more of that guy's stuff. Uh, oh my God, is this the one I rated highly? The Toilet Demon one? And I saw Marty this year. Marty was a good film. Lots of Marty heads in here, isn't there? The 1955 Marty, yeah. Who's a butcher in the Bronx. This Marty, real piece of shit. Apologies, I do need to take a quick pee break, so just, look at this for a second. Okay, back. Ugh. Okay, at the end of this, we should be 343. We're coming to the final couple turns here. Lady Hawk. I'm just going, oh, because there's so much to... Captain Etoine Navarre is a man on whose shoulder lies a cruel curse. Punished for loving each other, Navarre must become a wolf by night, whilst his lover, Lady Isabeau, takes the form of a hawk by day. Together with the thief Philippe Gaston, they must try to overthrow the corrupt bishop, and in doing so, break the spell. So Matthew Broderick, Rutger Hauer, Michelle Pfeiffer. Uh, Pretty fun little like family flick. Uh, it's not gonna be high up here for me. A woman is a woman. Uh, I'd probably watch it before I watch Downhill Racer again. Downhill Racer. Also, I don't know how I configured this to get scroll bars, but this has made it a lot more helpful to managing this list. Children of Men. So in Children of Men, like we're in the future. 30 years from that, 30 years from the past, uh, people started having miscarriages, and then not being able to get pregnant, and just people stopped being born. And this takes place in the UK, where the backdrop is them purging all the immigrant populations to these immigration camps and like shoving them on buses and then tearing them off and just sometimes shooting them for fun and sometimes just putting them in terrible conditions. And it's a tough movie to watch and definitely no analogs to present day. Uh, and whatever his name is, Clive Barker has to help escort somebody who they've found out is pregnant, and they don't want that pregnant woman to get murdered off and then replaced by some like fascist party leader to raise the baby in the UK. 2027, a chaotic world in which humans can no longer procreate. A former activist agrees to help transport a miraculously pregnant woman to a sanctuary at sea, where childbirth may help scientists save the future of humankind. Uh, Clive Owen, yeah. Uh, so I haven't watched this movie since like a long time ago, and I thought it pleasantly enjoyable. But that being said, I'm probably okay not watching it for another like 20 years. Uh, of the past. I'd rather watch Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield, yeah. Rather watch rewatch A Great Flood. Uh, I'm gonna put it right before Arabian Nights. VHS Halloween, not a fantastic VHS movie. As you saw, watching this was made me go back and rewatch some of the earlier VHSs. I'm like, yeah, I think they used to be a lot better. This is one that I can't see myself watching more than once. Uh, yeah, this is gonna go. I'd rather watch the. No, I'd rather not watch The Great Outdoors again. So this is gonna go before that. But Man Push Cart was good. That was a nice little immigrant story. Zadie Wishi goes to the Fire Festival. I'm sure I wrote an amazing note on this. Oh yeah, glad so there was a break in films before this. I think he might have been doing the Hanzo films, the Hanzo Razor films. Uh, Fire. It's not the Fire Festival. I don't like that screen. Too bright. Why can't it maintain a dark color scheme like I wanted? Uh, so where's the beginning of that? Tale of Zatoichi continues. Yeah, that's gonna go all the way up here. Okay, I just misclicked. These are very tiny targets now. Uh, Zatoichi meets the one-armed swordsman. Where did that go on the list? Zatoichi meets the one-armed swordsman between Samaritan and Chest of Gold. Easy peasy. Samaritan, Chest of Gold. I think this is exactly. Uh-oh. Am I going to be off a little bit? Options 400. Uh, so this is up to here. I think it's close to the end of my list. Let me catch up. There was the one-armed swordsman done there. Insomnia. Uh, Insomnia is about a murder that happens in Iceland during the time frame that it's essentially day all the time, and it's about an officer that accidentally kills his partner in the process of this and tries to cover it up, uh, and blame it on the actual murderer who he's trying to find before he gets framed for his partner's, well, not framed, until they find out he did his partner's murder. They did this is the like Finnish one. They had a remake they did with uh the Mork and Mindy guy. I just said his name earlier. Uh, Robin Williams. I think the original I think the remake's fine. The original was pretty good too. This is the original. That being said, the pacing is a little slow. Robin Williams, yeah. Bounds. Ooh, this was a fun one. By the Wachowski sisters before The Matrix. Corky, Corky, a tough female ex-convict working on an apartment renovation in Chicago building meets a couple living next door. Caesar, a paranoid mobster, and Violet, his seductive girlfriend, who is immediately attracted to her. It's got Joe Pantoliano. He was in Memento. He was the asshole in The Matrix. He was in Bound. I think I remember him from The Fugitive. I don't remember seeing Bad Boys. He's in Risky Business. I vaguely remember him in Congo. Also in Sopranos for a bit. Anything in here from his other? Lots of crap that I haven't seen. Unless people really love Jeremy Fink and The Meaning of Life. Some of these don't even get titles. Hail Caesar with Joe Pantoliano. This better be a cooking. Retrospective interview with Joe Pantoliano included with the 2014 Blu-ray by Arrow Video. Okay. Uh, Better than Eating Rahul. Definitely better than Naked Lunch. I think better than Midsummer. Pickpockets. Boat People. Sisters. Shot Corridor. I'm gonna put it between Sisters and Shot Corridor. I think that's a good place for it. Boom. Life of Bell. I give this a good rating, but I don't remember anything about it. Uh, so we're gonna put it maybe right before the big year. POV, a cursed film. Let's just. This is a Norio Serrata. Mirai and Haruna are shooting a show streamed on smartphones, which introduced different viewer-submitted videos. This is 2012. That day, the videos were all a paranormal phenomena, carefully selected alleged accurate accounts of haunted occurrences. In the middle of one video, the image gets interrupted, immediately turns back on a show of footage that was not in the script. The video captures an urban legend rumored at Haruna's school. A psychic on the show assessed that a certain demonological spirit ritual must be performed in order to get rid of the school of this phenomena. The director's agent and the two girls go to school immediately to find more that meets the eye. Yeah, I guess like this was some people really like it. Um, Ending puts the force rise, love the scares. Uh, so this is, I would say this is also kind of maybe not his best work. I would definitely watch all the How to Watch Haxen again before this, Kuroneko, Naked Gun, yeah, that's easy. Probably watch Megan before this. Watch the documentary about probably that has aspects of that in there. I'd watch Project Silence before that. Paris is Burning, yeah. Okay, here's where we go. I'd watch this before I watch the new Naked Gun again. Just got to make sure I keep this list up to date on my movies I've actually added to here. Uh, we're at 331? Could that be true? Yeah, 331. Uh, ooh, yeah. Uh, Monsieur Hulot's Holiday. This was not as good as Playtime, which was another Monsieur Hulot. Uh, is this Playtime over here? That's Pickpocket. That's Playtime. Uh, and it was still pretty funny. So, uh, not as good as Muppets Take Manhattan still. Not as much as Mona Lisa. Life of Belle. Three Women. I think Three Women's a little better than it. Ace in the Hole is a little better. Monkey Man's a little better. Breakfast of Champions. Okay, we're falling a little bit. We're falling. We're in free fall. We're in a free fall here. Better than Flesh and Blood. Better than Bridge Curse. I think it's right above Bridge Curse for me. Uh, I'm just gonna take a easy out and put Police Story in front of Police Story 2. Just gotta figure out where you're at here. There we go, Police Story 2. Uh, and the White Stadium Olympic slop. Points of being earnest, based off of uh, the book. God, I'm bad at importance of being earnest. I got the book like, okay, it's not in this bookshelf in here. Is it Wilde? So being earnest, Wilde. I think it's Oscar Wilde, isn't it? Yeah, it is Oscar Wilde. Okay. This a classic, just a classic comedy. I think every time I see the a telling of it, I enjoy it. Uh, Maybe between Vampires and Contact for that. Yeah, between Vampires and Contact for importance of being earnest. Uh, Campfire Tales. This is very formulaic and not very good. It's worse than VHS for me. I think it's a little worse than Truth or Dare. Worse than Project Silence. Uh, how far are we down? Are we gonna go here? I I would watch The Big Birdcage before I watch this again. But not And God Created Women. So we're just gonna thread that needle there. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Godzilla. This is the third best. Uh, this is the third best Godzilla movie. That's Mothra. That's Invasion. So that has to go up top, right? Yeah. The Asphalt Jungle, I do not recall. A recent paroled from prison, legendary burglar Doc Reidenschneider, with funding from Alonzo Emmerich, a crooked lawyer, gathers a small group of veterans together in the Midwest for a big jewel heist. Sterling Hayden, Marilyn Monroe. Uh, I don't remember a whole lot about it, despite getting 3 stars. Despite not remembering a lot about it, I think I'd rather watch it more than Better Lost in Translation. Essentially a brand new movie. Long Legs, amazing horror movie. Oh my God, Nicolas Cage, saw it at the beginning of the year. Uh, Always kept me guessing. The use of color, the use of angle, the use of like composition with the shots. This was huge for me. Let's not go crazy. It's not better than Heat. I think it's better than Wild at Heart. I think it might be better than Hangman and Also Die. I think it's better than Hard Boiled Mishima. I don't think it's as good as Sandro. So, Longlegs is an amazing horror film. War and Peace. This was at least 4 days of watching. Uh, it just it tells the story of a nobleman through the Napoleonic Wars. Uh, Even though it's long, every man for himself. Mishima. Dim Sum. Tempo. Dim Sum and Sneakers. Even though it's long, I really recommend this. Between Dim Sum and Sneakers is where I want to put that movie. Set of movies. It's 4 movies though, each relatively long, but or like it's broken up into 4 parts. Uh, but it was on the Criterion Collection. I thought it had an interesting premise. Very well done Russian film. Uh, but yeah, I understand like the runtime of it is bum 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 bum. The runtime of it really makes it difficult to recommend. Tokyo Story is a really early Japanese cinema about sort of just about the life of a family as uh, a widower is taking care of her in-laws and how that family doesn't treat their parents very well or as well as they could. Uh, One thing I like about this is Tokyo Story as being like an earlier film. Uh, a lot of the actors are stage actors who are used to like enunciating, using simpler vocabulary, speaking a little slower, and that has like it was really good practice for me to like see how much I could pick up learning Japanese because it was taken at a pace that's spoken much slower than native. Again, with like easier to comprehend vocab, uh, always clear like picture of them looking at least at a 45-degree angle towards the camera. So you could also follow lip movements. Uh, Abby's been activated by Colors Flow. Uh, Tokyo Story has like a whole list of like it's part of a series. Like I think it's like late fall, like early summer, late spring. There's like a whole like set of stories revolving around these characters. With Tokyo Story being like somewhere in the middle or maybe the end. Uh, I do want to watch the others. I just haven't gotten around to them lately. Or there's a lot of movies here. I'd watch this over Conclave. I'd watch it over Mulholland Drive. I'd watch it over Ace in the Hole. Uh, watch it over Friendship, I think. Normal Family. Mickey. Uh, this might sit right between Eating Raoul and the lower depths. You know what? I'm sorry. This is gonna go above 1984, right below the lower depths. Uh, the Senritsu Kaiki File 4, The Truth, Hanako-san and the Toilets. I believe this is the best one ever made. This one launched the series for me. I was watching, I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Uh, yeah, this was a bomber of a Senritsu Kaiki. Uh, where was I putting those at? I think that's even better than World. Because by the time you get to World, it set up some expectations for it. Oh, there's some basic ass Gundam. It really set some expectations for the series. I feel like this is where you're like, okay, these everything we're seeing, there's a bigger story than just, these sort of interspersed cases. Marty, this guy was a real like piece of shit who treated women bad, and he's like, "Well, I'm getting married. I got a good job cutting meats." Uh, that being said, I think it's better than Walkabout. So yeah, better than Walkabout. Uh, Not to be, I guess, confused with Marty Supreme. Okay, time to throw some more movies onto the platter here. The Red Shoes, Adventures of Dadoichi, Jules and Jim, Weapons. Did I already put Weapons on the list? I guess I didn't. Okay. I think I did a unique count here, but okay, good. I did not. I was just thinking about Weapons. I mentioned it earlier, yeah, when I was looking at uh my rewind or whatever it was called. Let me just do a quick little double check here. 343. Do, 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 do. Gundamu. Gundamu. Alien Surveillance. That was also a very bad movie. Uh, Okay, sorry, we're cranking this up while like get stuff going. Oh, I know. I'm not saying anything. I just wanted to enjoy the music for a sec. Okay. This is probably a bit more balanced. You can still hear me now, right? Yeah. Do 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 do. Ba ba bum ba 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 bum. Oh, okay. So the red shoes. This is about a pair of shoes that are red. Uh, I don't know if they're cursed. A fledgling ballerina falls in love with a brilliant composer, but the jealous head of the ballet company plots to drive them apart. So, dance she did, and dance she must, between her two loves. Okay, thought the shoes were cursed. They're not cursed. It's kind of flipping through some stuff. Just trying to figure out something that really grabs me. Maybe this. Red shoes. Uh, I really enjoyed it at the time. I think that's gonna go on like a Delancey Crossing, American Splendor realm. Then we have Adventures of Zatoichi. That song would be really good as one of those, but every other beat happens twice. Yeah. That'd be too fast, maybe. Uh, is that? Adventure of Zatoichi, I put as the worst Zatoichi film. Jules and Jim, about two guys being bros throughout time. In the carefree days before World War I, introverted Austrian author Jules strikes up a friendship with the exuberant Frenchman Jim, and both men fall for the impulsive and beautiful Catherine. Also, as they both go to World War I together against each other. Uh, I this ranked really high for me. This like hit some good notes. Uh, maybe slightly better than One Battle After Another, and not as good as Repo Man in my list. Weapons. I feel like for me this was a good movie I saw once, really enjoyed, but it's kind of in Sinner's territory. Uh, like this Weapons is definitely something I recommend everybody watch once. But I think after you watch it the once, you're just kind of done. So it's Red Shoes, Adventures at Oichi, Jim and Jules, Weapons, Leningrad Cowboys Go to America. This is just uh, a fake band comes to the U.S. to earn money. Not explaining it well. Leningrad Cowboys America. The Leningrad Cowboys, a group of Siberian musicians and their manager, travel to America seeking fame and fortune. As they cross the country trying to get to a wedding in Mexico, they are followed by the village idiot who wishes to join the band. Uh, I don't know. It's not Borat, so it's a little better than Borat. I feel like it should be downhill here. Rather watch VHS than that. I think I'd watch this over a night to remember, but not Insomnia. Alien Surveillance was just a piss bad movie. The thing is, how far down does it go? It's not as bad as Ratcatcher. I think it might be a little better than Seven. Not Seven, Evan. Uh, VHS. Where did we put you at here? Oh no, sorry. VHS. Is VHS 2 somewhere around here? Yeah. Uh, I actually liked, I think VHS 2 slightly better than VHS 1. Still better than Raw File. Suspiria. This is not the one that Good Job recommended, the original one from like the 70s. This is the 2018 Suspiria. Do, 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 do. You hear this a lot in Super Robot Wars, the song. Trust You Forever anime song. This is G Gundam, right? Yeah. I've not seen G Gundam. Well, I saw the one or two episodes with Abby, and then like we were watching other stuff, slash I wasn't super excited to watch it. Suspiria, amazing horror movie, super gory, lots of great shit happening in there. I think that's better than Doctor Strangelove. Is it? I think it's better than Doctor Strangelove. I don't think it's better than A Better Tomorrow's. So, Suspiria, very great placement there. We're gonna have one more set of ads, uh, and then hopefully we'll be done ranking movies for the day. Voices of a Distant Star is a mech show where two people fall in love and you find out how, relativity works as one travels off at nearly the speed of light or super speed of light, but transmissions are delayed back, so it's two people falling in love across space-time and across, I don't know, potentially the boundaries of life and death. Oh, hopefully for the year too, yeah, of ranking movies. Uh, Voices of a Distant Star, I think, was relatively short, so an easy recommend Hoshi no Koe. So, Voices of a Star. Distant Star. I'm just gonna sort these out while ads are running, even though you can't watch. You can still hear. Maybe you can hear. Oh, is everybody back then? I was just trying to line up more movies down here. Yeah, I don't know why that's desync, sorry. Also, like, not only were they there is a little bit of delay from the plugin, but that seems to match up with what Twitch is telling me in the console. So maybe the console is fucked up too. And yeah, sometimes you'll get sometimes you'll get a lot less ads, and sometimes you'll get like slightly more ads than uh than the 3 minutes. Oh wow, we still got some bangers coming up here towards the end too. Innopolis, La Strada. You just get the dead screen. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not running the experimental I'm not running the experimental compression that they use to get better resolutions. So should that at least allows it to block the ads. I think if I were to go back to that, then the ad blocker wouldn't work. Hypothetically. High and dizzy. You're right. It doesn't support the encrypted broadcast, even though there's nothing that I'm doing that's, quote unquote encryption. It just they decided to like wrap that all in together. I just want to double check. Once I get this on here, seconds, 1966. 1966 seconds. Okay, with the face too. Gotcha. I think this is every movie we have left. I'll be double checking closely as I go down. But Voices of a Distant Star, that's a 25-minute movie. It's really nice sci-fi. Really beautiful. I think it's one of those that once you watch it, you're probably not watching it a whole lot more. Uh, I'd rather watch it than Raw File. I think that blows the VHSs for me. Oh God, I cannot do the hard metal here. There we go. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. We just watched this the other day, but I've been talking for so long. I'm blanking on it. Oh yeah, this is the Steve Martin. This is the parody of a noir film. Uh, Juliet, Juliet Forrest is convinced that the reported death of her father in a mountain car crash is no accident. Her father was a prominent cheese scientist working on a secret recipe. To prove it was the murder, she enlists the services of Private Eye Rigby Reardon. He finds a slip of paper containing a list of people who are friends and enemies of Carlotta. Uh, Probably below. This is gonna slot in between Zatoichi and the Godzillas, I think. As far as comedies go, I enjoyed it more than Naked Gun. Like it more than Hanzo the Razor, but not as much as the Senritsu Kaikis. Weekend. This is fucking peak Jean-Luc Godard right here. It's supposedly idyllic weekend. A supposedly idyllic weekend trip to the countryside turns into a never-ending nightmare of traffic jams, revolution, cannibalism, and murder as the French bourgeois society starts to collapse under the weight of its own consumer preoccupations. It's great. There's just a scene in there where they have some nice communist and socialist messaging. Jean-Luc Godard is amazing. I think this is better than Hangman Also Die. It's better than Charade. I think I'd put it between Charade and Stray Dog. Charade and Stray Dog. This is really high up there for me. If you're gonna watch any Jean-Luc Godard film, watch The Weekends. Or sorry, Weekends, not The Weekends. Just while be communication. Okay, Godzilla. Which one is this? Destroy all monsters. This is the second best Godzilla film of all time from the Showa era. So that's Three-Headed Monster. I don't think Godzilla's going to be on here because I believe I watched that last year. Yeah, Godzilla was a last year movie, so that's the best Godzilla movie on this list. You can't get away with murder. Johnny learns crime from petty thug Frank Wilson. When Wilson kills a pawnbroker with a gun stolen from Johnny's sister, Madge's fiance, Fred Burke, Fred goes to Sing Sing's death house. Wilson uses all the pressure he can to keep Johnny silent, even after he and Johnny themselves wind up in the big house. This is pretty good. So, a tough and hardened guy really frames somebody up to take the fall for this, but he ends up getting imprisoned for something else, a lot less bad. And they're gonna give him the electric chair, unless he clears his conscience, despite people trying to kill him in prison. A little better. Let's see, Dead Ringers, 1984. I think it's a little better than 1984. Between 1984 and Tokyo Story is where you go. We're kind of winding down on number of stuff left, so I'm going to be a little picky with what the music is. See? Ad blocking still works in Firefox. Oh yeah, is this Eureka 7? Or Eureka 7? Uh, Taste of Horror? The Ding Dong Challenge, a region you shouldn't do dance carelessly. Four-legged beast, story meeting a doppelganger. Jackpot, what happened when I took a taxi nearby? The residents only gym. A woman appears. I guess this fair use only. Okay, I remember this. This was not that good. Uh, not down here bad. Definitely better than POV, or definitely not as good as POV at Curse. Fallen Angels is another uh Kong War Kai movie. Uh, do, 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 do. Assassin goes through obstacles as he attempts to escape his violent lifestyle despite the opposition of his partner, who is secretly attracted to him. Really good, but like not as good as Bounds. No. Is it better than Importance of Being Earnest? Eating Rahul? I don't think so. Better than Bell, yeah. You got the true ending finally? Congrats. I'm glad I didn't have to boot up co-op mode and barrel your ass out on this one. But no, congrats for finally getting done with the game. It's not as good as it's not as good as Mona Lisa. It's a little better than Rushmore. Listen, first run chief versus the last run chief are two different pilots. Yeah, we ran you through new type school. You can't get away with murder, Taste of Horror, Fallen Angels. Uh, now Yojimbo. I believe that was put that right below Sanjuro before, and they're close enough movies. We can do the same here. That looks like Sanjuro. Yeah, so Yojimbo right below Sanjuro. Chargakuru? So this is way worse than the Bridge Curse. Yeah, right when you came in. I really did not like the Bridge Curse ritual. This was not a movie I think was very good. Better than A Better Tomorrow, but not as good as Working Girls. A Better Tomorrow 3. Message from Beyond down here in the shorts, right above Rest. There's a game called The Bridge Curse. The Bridge Curse Road to Salvation. Okay, I've not heard of this. Was it VR? A Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. This is bad. I think it goes slightly above some of these Olympic movies. I'd rather watch G Savior than the second Spinal Tap. At least the version you played isn't VR. Gotcha. Okay. It looked like it might be a good VR game. Uh, I guess I'd watch this more than the Color of Pomegranates. But yeah, not the sequel was not good. Should not have made it. The original Great Expectations, again, very slow. It's gonna be like in the You Can Count on Me, Fish Called Wanda. Right before Yephis. Ephus, I mean. Trap. Great horror movie about somebody taking their kid to a sporting event, and then the cops shut it down to try to find the murderer, serial killer, and there's a twist. Kind of jumping around, like I said, while I'm running low on movies, and we're getting to the end here. See you later, advertisements. That's usually pretty good. I skipped the 9 ball theme, I know. Enjoy some Macross 82.99. I have a couple of their albums from Bandcamp. They make some banger songs. Uh, Trap. This is kind of in the same vein as Juror Number 2. And if you know Juror Number 2 plot, you know this one. Uh, but I liked it a bit more than Juror Number 2, so I'm just gonna throw it there. I think Spinal Tap's a little too high here. We're gonna kick Spinal Tap down a couple knots. Cloud. This is a highly anticipated or like reviewed Japanese horror movie that I felt more annoying than good. Uh, we're gonna kick it down a notch from 11 to 10, yeah. Cloud. So Cloud's gonna be. Honestly, I'd rather watch Megan 2 than Cloud. I'd rather watch that documentary again. I'd rather watch Cloud than those annoying people talk about how bad it is to have money. Parentheses, how hard their life is because they're rich. Mm. Being there has a good plot. Is that with Mitty? Am I maybe mixing up movies here? Oh, Chance. A simple-minded gardener named Chance has spent all of his life in the Washington, D.C. house of an old man. When the man dies, Chance is put out on the street with no knowledge of the world except what he has learned from television. And wow, does he live a fucking life while doing it. Uh, Kind of the Forrest Gump situation of like stumbles into like amazing, an amazing life. Uh, let's see. I'd put it down here. It's Shot in the Dark, Down by Law. Probably between Mama Rosa and Battle of Algiers. We're gonna save this movie to the end. La Strada. That's an Italian movie with the clown. Uh, when Gelsomina, a naive young woman, is purchased from her impoverished mother by a brutish circus strongman Zampano to be his wife and partner. She loyally endures her husband's coldness and abuse as they travel the Italian countryside performing together. Soon, Zampano must deal with his jealousy and conflicted feelings about Gelsomina when she finds a kindred spirit in Il Matto, the carefree circus fool, and contemptuous, and contemplates leaving Zampano. Uh, decent Italian film. I think that's gonna go only slightly above the Zatoichis. Better than X from Outer Space. Better than the Blob, I think. Better than Novocaine. Maybe not better than Mads though. Kwaidan is a Japanese horror anthology. Uh, they all were decent. I guess I don't know like the Japanese folklore enough to be like, yeah, I'm really appreciating this. So, uh, this might be down in like Flow Great Flood territory. Plan 75, what will you do? It might be a little lower. I'd rather watch Children of Men than Qui-Gon, but I'd rather skip these that trilogy of Italian stories. Olympic Games 1956. Well, this Olympic slop. Possession. That's Qui-Gon. That's Olympic. Uh, Possession is Sam Neill and somebody else. Sam Neill, Isabella Adjani. A young woman left her family for an unspecified reason. The husband determines to find out the truth and starts following the wife. At first, he suspects that a man is involved, but gradually he finds out more and more strange behaviors and bizarre incidents that indicate something more than a possessed love affair. Uh, I kind of feel like that's up here with maybe antiviral. I don't think it's as good as Playtime. I think it's better than Sweet Smell of Success. So that Sam Neill film that I only recently heard about. The 10th Olympiad in Amsterdam. Sure. Uh, Citizen Kane is truly the Citizen Kane of films. Uh, I just want to do. I guess I won't know for sure. Uh, I'd never seen it before recently, and we figured out what Rosebud means, and it's all packaged pretty well. Where do I want to put you though? The Great Dictator. Maybe up here. I think it's better than the Great Dictator, or greater than Hari. No, it's not better than Harakiri. I think it's better than Stray Dog. Not better than Harakiri, Great Dictator, or Pet Labor 2, the movie. So, yeah. Uh, we have another one of those shorts, High and Dizzy. Where did I put the other Lloyd film at? Uh, what's that guy's name? And Dizzy. Yeah, Harold Lloyd. Where did I put the other Harold Lloyd film at? I've seen 1% of them. Uh, Safety Last. I think I liked Seconds a little, or no, I liked this a little worse than Safety Last. But let's. Really? Is that not on here? Uh, it's not Safety Last. What else was it? High and Dizzy. That was it. Nope, that's what I'm doing right now. Uh, well, it's easier for me to do this than to try to look at every movie title and figure out which one has them in it. Oh my God. In a lot of shorts, huh? Because I can't just, it won't just let me easily query Harold Lloyd films I've seen. Or will it? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Never Weaken as the boy. This was a pretty good one because he tries to kill himself a bunch. High and Dizzy is a sleepwalking patient, so I like that a little less. But now we found it. Yep, we found it. It was Never Weekends. Whew. Where did we see that on the list? Okay, down here somewhere, Never Weekends. I mean, it looks like it should be around here, right? Never Weekends. Here we go. Yeah, right around there. Uh, so High and Dizzy was a little less. Uh, Macross Delta Passionate Walkere. This is just a good retelling of the Macross story. I think the movie's a little better. Where do we put the Macross 7s at? It's not better than Zetai, for sure. somewhere in here, yeah. Just because I like macOS better. Seconds. What was seconds? We're down to the last couple. An, an unhappy middle-aged banker agrees to a procedure that will fake his death and give him a complete look and identity. One that comes with its own price. I think I like this a little better than Shock Corridor, which was around here. Shock Corridor. That's Pickpocket. That's Shock Corridor. Uh, Not as good as Sisters. A little more than Bound. Sorry, Wachowski sisters. You do good work. Now, we're down to the last movie. A movie that I watch every once in a while, like Heat. It is probably one of the best found footage films. It's Lunopolis. Uh, you know what? Lunopolis is great. It's not as good as The Killer. It's slightly better than Zetai Live. Uh, Let me just double check the numbers before we get excited. For me, the action is the juice. That's correct. 376, 376. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Let's make sure the PNG shows up okay. Chrome might have crashed trying to save the PNG. Uh, 2025. Let's see. Uh, oh, Nyar. Uh, okay. I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. Oh, God. I don't know what happened to it. Let's see if it can save this as a PNG. Okay, I had to fix the aspect ratio here. Okay. Uh, I don't want that. I just want to show an image. Just random image. Okay. Uh, that's from a URL. Hmm. Well, I was gonna try and zoom in and tell everybody what the top 10 movies are, but I guess I'll just have to read them off. Uh, Top 10 movies. Number 10, Amarcord. Number 9, All That Jazz. Number 8, Blue Velvet. Number 7, Chungking Express. Number 6, House. Number 5, The Beast. Number 4, Do the Right Thing. Number 3, The Grand Budapest Hotel. Number 2, Seven Samurai. Number 1, Ikiru. And that is my top list. I will upload this somewhere. Uh, I'll upload this somewhere when I'm done, probably to Blue Sky, and people can see the entire list. Uh, yeah, this took some building. Uh, I have some movies listed that I want to try to do, or not some movies. I have some games listed I want to do this year. Uh, so on the stream agenda, I'm gonna try and do a couple streams a week. Uh, I've got coming up early on is Macross M3 because that recently got a Dreamcast port, or it had a Dreamcast port. It recently got a translation patch, so we're gonna play through that. I did a little bit of it to test it out, and it's kind of tough. I don't think I'll be able to get like the good ending on it, which is like blasting through everything and not dying and doing it fast enough. I'll do my best. We'll at least we'll get a playthrough done. Uh, then we're gonna play Fuga 3. We played Fuga 1 and 2, I think, 2 years ago. That's the one where you have the furries and the kids. Uh, that's the one where you shoot the kids in the cannon, but I never shot the kids in the cannon because I always played it better. And then there's a game called Outpost for the PC, like old Windows 95. When it was released, it was unwinnable. There were patches that were released online, but I didn't have the internet back then, and a lot of people didn't. So many people just got like a game that was broken. I would like to play the patch PC game and finish that for the first time. And then I think Disgaea 7 is going to be on the books for this year. So those are sort of the games I want to stream for us this year. Uh, and yeah, if I get done or other stuff jumps in there, I might intersperse it with some smaller games or indie games. Uh, but yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go do some other stuff on my Saturday. Is there anybody fun maybe I can send us off to? Yeah, there is. Assuming she uncrashes. There's somebody I want to send us to, who is playing Persona 5 Royal, I think, pretty early on. Uh, but right now her stream is like the camera icon, like it got disconnected. So maybe I can, all movies 2026. Let's go. Okay. We have Heat, number 1, and we have the Pornographers. Okay, here's my 2026 list so far. Looks like she's at least back, so I think she's going to be streaming for a bit longer. Maybe. Really wanted to give her the support. So I think she's getting it figured out. If not, we'll raid her and she'll know I did my best. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Looking forward to playing some games on stream this year. Uh, Luzora's pretty good. She's pretty cool. Plays a lot of RPGs. She's doing some Octopath earlier. On to Persona 5 now. Uh, yeah, otherwise have a good Saturday. We might just be writing into somebody who has a broken stream, but I'm sorry. Stick around, maybe say hi. Bye.